Okay, Warren, you brought an article in from the Google. And I leave myself open to the fact that I may disagree with the Google. You understand?
Okay.
I don't think the Google knows everything.
I would 100% agree with that. As a matter of fact, I kind of color coded yours.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because I think you're going to disagree with a couple things on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So the article talks about the housing forecast, and one thing that one of the questions I always get is just like, "How's the market doing, Warren? And what is the market going to do?" So those are great questions, and I think a lot of people, you read, you watch TV, and it's like, okay, well, that's great. California's on fire.
Right.
Florida is this, but how's our local market? So this article kind of talks a little bit about that.
Okay.
Wanted to share that with you guys. One of the things that we've been struggling with here is inventory levels. I don't know if you've heard that on the news, but there's been a lot of sales in housing. The housing market has really taken off nationwide, and inventory levels have dropped. So that was one of the things that we're trying to combat here is like, we got to get inventory levels up so that the buyers have something to buy. And the builders have been doing a great job of opening up a lot of subdivisions. If you're driving around the area, you're probably seeing a lot of dirt being moved.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of buddies of mine that own one of the largest painting businesses and drywall business in North Carolina, and they said that just new construction is off the chart. It's just remarkable how much they're building.
So they do a lot of new construction work?
Yes. Yeah. That's primarily what they do. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So right there's a good marker for you, right?
Right.
It's like when your buddy that does a lot of new construction
says he's busy.
Dude, I'm just
Right.
covered up. It's
Right.
like, okay. So then the other thing that this article talks about is that the inventory levels are expected to begin to go up or to rise. So the builders are building a lot of new subdivisions. So that's good. That's good news for, I think, all of us. Other than, we've really gotten a lot of nice appreciation on our assets. So we had that absolute horrible fall off the cliff 2008-9. Here in North Carolina, it was actually a little bit later than that. I don't know. You probably remember this.
Yes.
But, the country started falling off in 2007 and 8. And Charlotte area, I mean, that's what the market that they call us is Charlotte, even though we're in Statesville.
Sure.
The Charlotte market actually stayed good for quite a bit longer than that, and until it finally fell off. Not as hard as some areas. So we've come back. We've already, kind of blown through what the values were in 2008. And there's
so we have come back from the valuations because I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah. There's still some things that are lagging behind, but for most intents, for most homes, your valuation is higher than it was back before that happened. Yep.
Okay, well, that's good news, actually.
Well, and so what that's helped us with, Joe, is, a lot of people maybe bought at the height of the market. They got a job transfer like Bill was talking about when he moved to the area. And he said, we came in town, we bought a house, so there's a lot of people that bought at the top of the market. And as the market tumbled and they've lost a ton of equity in the house, they've finally regained that equity. So what you're seeing is very few foreclosures coming on the market right now.
Well, and that probably will add to the inventory because now that I'm not upside down, I'll go ahead and sell and move to the home that I wanted and that sort of stuff as well.
You got it. You hit the nail on the head.
What you meant to say was exactly.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, that was...
Okay, good.
Yeah, the other thing the article talks about is the millennials. And I think this is, I don't know, millennials get a hard time, right? Have you ever noticed that? Like, people complain about millennials all the time?
I think they kind of deserve it, but okay.
Why do they deserve it?
Oh, painful.
Yeah.
Actually, it's their thought process is different, and it just requires, I hate to say it, but I'm an old school business guy. I don't know when that happened. I think it happened last week, but somehow their thought process has changed, and it's taken time for us old school people to figure out what that process is.
Yeah.
That's what the frustration that I think we're getting.
Yeah. It's funny. My cousin is a millennial, and he flies C-17s for the Air Force, right? He takes, Jim Mad Dog Mattis to Afghanistan.
Cool.
And I'm looking at him going, wait a second, you did all that? So they're and like the millennial I told you about, I just put under contract in a house. He's a sharp kid. So there's a lot of really sharp millennials out there. So that's encouraging. But they've really been kind of taking over the mortgage and the purchasing. They are up to almost 43% of buyers right now. 43%.
Well, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, isn't that a crazy number?
It really is a surprising number because I've been reading that they've been holding off buying.
Well, I guess they're buying now. Like I said, I sold one a couple days ago, so there you go.
You know what I think? I think some of that's got to do with the rental numbers have just gotten to a point where why not buy? I mean, other than the question, do I have the money down? Why wouldn't I buy? Because the rental cost is so high right now.
That's a great point. Yep. Another article that I had was talking about that. Their numbers are skewed, so it was a dumb article.
Warren, you're talking about young millennials.
Yeah.
Our Chamber of Commerce, we have a group called the Young Professionals, and it is 21 to 39-year-old Chamber of Commerce members, and I continue to be impressed by what they're involved in. Joe, just a couple of months ago, just as a community fundraiser, they went out and inside of a couple of weeks raised $1,000 for our Hugh Torrance House and Store to help preserve our legacy. And again, these are sharp young people, and they're going to be taking over our businesses.
And they really do see the world differently. And when they get up in the morning, when we get up in the morning, Warren, we were thinking about how do we make $1.
Yeah.
They want to change the world. I mean, they don't. It's not just about money for them. They really do want to make a difference. And like I said, it's a different way for them to think, which means how you approach them, how you motivate them, also how you sell to them is completely different.
Joe, didn't you want to change the world?
No. I wanted to sell the most sandwiches ever sold in Charlotte, North Carolina in a particular year.
Really? I didn't want to just read history. I wanted to make history.
Interesting. There was a time when I sold more Lance crackers than any other retailer in North Carolina. That was my claim to fame, you understand?
Right.
So, unfortunately, my motivation is a little bit different. Yeah, I might. Skippy's over here saying he ate half of them. That might be true.
If I could reach the bell.
Don't do it.
Oh, Skippy.
Come on. Warren, how can somebody reach you if they wanted to get some help buying or selling a business? I mean, excuse me, a property?
Yeah, so easiest way is just to give me a call. You want my number?
I do.
All right.
I really do.
Out. 704-576-4800, 576-4800. That's the best way to get me.
So you're an expert radio man because you knew to do that twice.
Yeah, get your pen, 576-4800, and we can come out and take a look at your property. It's a good time to sell.